Welcome to the O Brother Podcast. I'm your host, Dan Smith. Alongside me, as always, my brother from the same mother, Mike Smith.
How you doing, Dan?
Wait a second. Am I Mike Smith or are you Mike Smith?
Where's my 3D glasses?
I'm kidding. Coming at you on June 18th, 2021, when you hear this. And we are going to do a review of the recently released horror film, The Conjuring, The Devil Made Me Do It. Very important to get that subtitle in there as well. And now this is a sequel to two other films, and I've recently learned
Annabelle.
It's the eighth film in what I didn't even realize we had, which is the Conjuring universe.
Ed and Lorraine Warren,
Yeah,
this real life couple that were kind of Ghostbusters, if you think about it, since it's Ghostbusters Day. But
played by Patrick Wilson and Vera Farmiga.
Yeah. And Patrick
Farmiga.
Wilson,
you are continuing with your tradition of butchering names. It was Martin Sheehan and Ben Affleck. We're gonna get them they're starring in an upcoming horror film alongside Vera Farmiga. It's called What the Hell Are We Doing Here?
That's a little Boston accent coming up. What they are is they basically take a case from their history. This couple has a history of investigating different things, and frequently they would hit the news. So this was back in 81. This real life happened.
Yeah. And
the reason it hit the news is because the couple or what happened, I don't know if I should give that away. Should I? Is that too much of a giveaway? I don't think so.
No, go for it.
Because what they were investigating, the demonic possession, was then alluded to in court, where that was the defense.
Correct.
The defense was, I was possessed by demons.
Mm-hmm.
And they used the Warrens' video as proof.
Right. Right.
So this is a case, and I think the case was labeled "The Devil Made Me Do It," and James Wan's case, I think it was "The Money Made Me Do It," is his reasoning. But so this case was basically, they were investigating a child that was being possessed, and they were basically going to take him to the church to do an exorcism.
Yeah, right.
And they go to the house. This is how the movie kind of begins. They go to the house, and they've got the priest ready to do the exorcism, but the kid starts, I think the demon inside the kid starts reacting to the priest, and the priest instantly whips out the crucifix. So all of a sudden, an emergency breaks out. They have to do the exorcism right there and then.
Yeah.
So they grab him, they hold him down on the table. And is it his brother or just a family friend?
It's just a family friend.
Just a friend.
Well, actually, you know what?
Yeah, because it's his sister. Yeah.
Right.
It's his sister's boyfriend.
Boyfriend, I guess. Yeah.
And Ed Warren is saying, hold him, help us hold him down. And then the boyfriend grabs him, the little kid, and says, if you're in there, take me.
And like any good demons, he jumps from one host to the next.
Exactly.
And there you go.
And then off we go.
All right. So
I'm thinking there's more than one
Conjuring
film.
All right. Hold on now. The Conjuring debuted in 2013. Conjuring, The Devil Made Me Do It, of course, is the one we're talking about now. And let's see.
The Conjuring 2.
Yeah. So, all right. So here it is. Here it says The Nun.
That's what it is.
Okay. Annabelle Creation.
Right. That was weird because
let me get through this list first.
Okay.
And then Annabelle. And then The Conjuring. Annabelle Comes Home.
So they were in 3 Annabelle movies.
The Curse of La Llorona. The Conjuring 2, and The Conjuring, The Devil Made Me Do It. I walked out of this, again, I went in no expectations. I walked in going, yeah, it was all right. It was okay for a horror film. I mean, it had all the things you're looking for in a horror film, all the right amount of jump scares. And I got to tell you, being in, because I was in the theater,
Yeah.
and I was in one of these luxury theaters, and the sound in this theater was crazy. There's a scene in the first 5 minutes of the film. There's this knock on a door.
Mhm.
It was so loud, and it came from like the left side.
Yeah.
So that had a lot to, because that can really kind of heighten
How did
those.
the audience react?
It wasn't that crowded. Still, it was still pretty thin.
Yeah.
But there certainly wasn't, gasps or
Right.
people. There's nothing
Right.
like that. I honestly, I think even the most hardcore fan is so desensitized to all that.
Right.
If anything, they're probably smirking or giggling more than they are frightened.
Yeah, because I can't think of one time I was frightened.
In this,
Yes.
no, definitely not. This film also had a staple of any good horror film, which is a really creepy looking little kid.
Yeah.
I mean, how creepy was this little kid looking with this big old glasses, pushed down on his nose? It just, I don't know. He was just
And
really
then
odd looking.
and that's when the
No offense
special
to
effects.
the
Yeah,
actor,
because
but-
all of it, there was a lot of special effects.
Right. Circling back, The Conjuring, The Devil Made Me Do It.
It's what it is.
You're getting 2 thumbs up from both of us here to say
Mild. I'd say like
Right.
this.
right. But if you're a horror fan,
Or
yeah,
like
definitely
this.
check this one out. I wouldn't go pay the theater prices, because when you go, you're not just buying the ticket. You're going to get sucked into buying concessions and all of that. Just save your money and watch it at home.
And I do want to say I've never paid for one of these movies. I've seen them all, but it's all because they've come on
Yeah, you're fortunate.
TV or whatever.
Yeah, you're
Or like
fortunate.
HBO, it was free.
Yeah. Well, there you go. Another episode of the O Brother podcast about The Conjuring. So yeah, decent horror film. Again, it's not really, our wheelhouse, so to speak, even though we're definitely fans of one particular horror franchise.
And me, I have a couple.
And you've got a sprinkling of some others in their collection as well, too. And I'm just going to say it, Jaws, sorry, just to end the debate. It's not a horror film. It's just not a horror film. I'd throw it in as an action film before I'd throw it in as a horror
That came
film.
up when we were doing
Yeah.
trivia.
Yeah, it's just, and I've seen it debated out on the internet as well. And
Oh, really?
I'm on the side that says it's not a horror film. So there you go.
Although you can compare Halloween to Jaws, I think.
No. And how dare you? All right, folks, that's all the time we have on this episode of the For the Podcast. I've been your host, Dan Smith. Alongside me, as always, my brother from the same mother, Mike Smith. And we might just see you next time.
We just got the hook, folks. Bye, everyone.
Send in the clowns. One of these days, we're going to get you to
go
load all that
digital?
up on a couple of semi trucks. Have an auction, and then you're gonna go all digital. I don't wish this on you, but if your house burns down, you're screwed.
Yeah.
You're screwed. Me,
Although I
I'm out
do
in the-
have.
I'm out in the parking lot with the fire company watching my house burn while I'm watching on my phone on Vudu my digital collection.